All right, ready to dive deep. Today we're tackling a big one, truth.
Oh boy.
Or how about this? How we can trip over truth without even realizing it.
Seems familiar.
We're hanging out with the ultimate philosophical rock star, Friedrich Nietzsche,
Rockstar, huh?
to explore some of his most provocative ideas.
I like where this is going.
You know, his work on truth and lies in a non-moral sense.
Yeah. A title that definitely sets the stage for some serious questioning.
For sure.
And what's fascinating is how relevant his ideas still are today, even in our digital age.
Absolutely. So Nietzsche, this guy, he was like a philosophical detective, always digging deeper, questioning everything.
I can get behind that.
And when it came to truth, let's just say he wasn't afraid to point out the cracks in our thinking.
He was particularly interested in how we use language to construct what we believe to be true. He identified these pitfalls, these truth landmines hidden within language itself.
Truth landmines. Okay, now you've got my attention.
They're dangerous.
Tell me more.
The first landmine he points out is abstraction. Think about it. Words, by their very nature, generalize. When you say tree, you could be talking about anything from a towering redwood to that little bonsai on your windowsill.
I see what you mean.
We lose the uniqueness, the vivid details, the sheer individuality of that specific tree swaying outside your window.
Right.
That's abstraction in action, stripping away the richness of reality.
So we're simplifying the world just to make sense of it, but maybe we're missing out on the bigger picture.
Precisely. And then there's anthropomorphism, the second landmine. We can't help but see the world through human eyes, right? We project our own emotions, motivations, even genders onto a reality that might operate by completely different rules.
That reminds me of how we assign genders to objects in different languages.
Oh, interesting. Like what?
In Portuguese, a tree is árvore, feminine, while in Spanish, it's el árbol, masculine. It's the same tree, but the language shapes how we see it, even subconsciously.
Exactly. And that's the sneaky thing about these truth landmines. They're often operating beneath our awareness, shaping our perceptions in subtle ways.
That's blowing my mind. Okay, what's the third landmine?
The third one is subjectivity. Words are slippery, aren't they? A single word can evoke completely different feelings and associations depending on your personal experiences.
It's true. Take the word hard. If you asked me to describe a rock as hard, I'd think, yeah, that makes sense. But if you've ever been whacked in the head with a rock, the word hard probably takes on a whole new meaning.
Exactly. Our personal histories, our joys and traumas, they all color our understanding of even the simplest words. So what might seem clear and straightforward to you could mean something completely different to the person next to you.
So we're walking around with these invisible dictionaries in our heads, each one shaped by our own unique experiences.
Yep, I like that.
It's no wonder we sometimes struggle to truly understand each other.
And this is just scratching the surface. It gets even more complex when we start talking about how these individual interpretations of truth, these subjective realities, can collide and combine to form something even more powerful and potentially dangerous, which Rodrigo Palhano calls collective lies.
Collective lies.
But we'll dive into that right after this.
Okay, so Nietzsche has definitely given us a lot to think about. All these truth landmines lurking everywhere, just waiting to trick us up.
Right.
But what happens when we take these individual misunderstandings and scale them up to a societal level?
Yeah, where does that lead us?
That's where things get really interesting with Rodrigo Palhano and his YouTube series on collective lies.
Oh, yeah, I've seen that one.
I mean, the title alone makes you want to click,
For sure. It's definitely attention grabbing.
So break it down for us. What are collective lies all about?
Well, you see, Palhano, he starts by challenging this idea that we often take for granted. The idea of a single objective truth.
Okay, I'm listening.
He argues that truth is often contextual. What you hold to be true, it's influenced by your unique perspective, your upbringing, the people you surround yourself with.
Makes sense.
Even the limitations of what we know as a society at this point in time.
Huh. Like we only know what we know.
Exactly. So it's like that classic optical illusion, the one that looks like either a vase or two faces.
Oh, yeah, I see what you mean.
What you see depends entirely on how you're looking at it. Maybe truth is kind of like that.
Truth is what you make it.
It's in a way, yes. And when these individual contextual truths are shared widely and accepted without question, they can solidify into what Palhano calls collective lies.
Interesting.
They become so ingrained in our understanding of the world, we barely even notice them anymore.
Like they're just part of the background noise of reality. Okay, but give me a real-world example here.
Okay, let's take money, for instance.
Yeah.
Think about the money in your wallet, just a piece of paper or some numbers on a screen.
Sure.
It has no inherent value in and of itself.
Whoa, that's a thought.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know it's just paper, but I still get a little thrill when I see those numbers in my account go up.
Right. But that thrill, that sense of value, it's a shared fiction. It's a collective lie that we've all agreed to believe in.
So we all just pretend.
In a way, yes. And it's a powerful lie because it underpins the entire global economy.
It's like we're all in on this massive game of make-believe, but it's the game that dictates so much of our lives.
You got it.
Man, I'm starting to see these collective lies everywhere now.
You and me both. And here's the kicker. Technology, while an incredible tool in so many ways, it can also amplify these collective lies.
How so?
Think about how quickly misinformation can spread online. We're bombarded with so much information from so many sources that it can be tough to discern what's true and what's not.
It's like we've got access to the entire world's library in our pockets.
Yeah.
But we're trying to navigate it with the critical thinking skills of, well, someone who's never actually had to navigate a real library before.
Yeah.
Where do we even begin to sift through it all? I don't know about you, but I am feeling the mental overload a little bit here. Nietzsche's truth landmines, Palhano's collective lies. It's a lot.
Yeah, it really makes you think.
It's like we're swimming in a sea of information, but who knows what's worth holding on to? So where do we go from here? How do we navigate this crazy world where truth can feel so elusive?
That's the question, isn't it? How do we become more discerning, more critical thinkers in a world that's just saturated with information and misinformation, let's be honest.
Right. It's a skill we all need, especially now.
Absolutely.
It's like we need to upgrade our mental software or something. But how do we even start?
Well, the good news is you're already halfway there just by being aware of these pitfalls. You're recognizing those sneaky ways that our perception can be influenced without us even realizing it.
That's true. I never thought about it like that before.
The first step is simple. Cultivate a healthy sense of skepticism.
You mean don't just take everything at face value, even if it seems like everyone else is buying it?
You got it. It's about pressing pause before you hit that share button,
Yeah.
Don't accept something as truth just because it's gone viral or because it confirms what you already believe. Okay.
Question your assumptions. Ask yourself, who benefits from me believing this? What's the agenda here?
So it's all about strengthening that inner BS detector.
Yes. And here's another crucial thing. Seek out diverse perspectives.
You mean get out of my bubble a bit?
Exactly. Don't just stay in your echo chamber, surrounded by people who already agree with you.
Yeah. It's easier said than done, though, right? Especially online. It's so easy to get stuck in that trap. You gravitate towards people who share your views, and then the algorithm is like, here's some more of that. Before you know it, you're living in an echo chamber.
And that's precisely why you have to actively seek out those different viewpoints.
Even the ones that rub me the wrong way. Especially those. The ones that make you uncomfortable, that challenge your preconceived notions. Engage with those ideas, wrestle with them. You might not change your mind, but you'll come away with a more nuanced understanding of the issue at hand.
It's like that saying, if you're the smartest person in the room, you're in the wrong room.
Exactly. Surround yourself with people who challenge you to think differently, to question your assumptions, and never forget there's rarely one definitive right answer. Embrace the gray areas.
Yeah, I can be that.
That's where the most interesting conversations happen.
This has been an awesome deep dive. It's given us so much to think about, really. And before we go, here's a final thought for you out there listening. What's one collective lie you've always accepted as the truth? Maybe it's something you heard growing up, something everyone around you believes. Just take a moment to really examine that belief. What are the implications of holding on to it? How would your life be different if you let it go? Food for thought. Until next time, stay curious and don't stop questioning.